In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to identify support and resistance levels. Support and resistance levels are important points in time where the forces of supply and demand meet. These support and resistance levels are seen by technical analysts as crucial when determining market psychology and supply and demand. When these support or resistance levels are broken, the supply and demand forces that created these levels are assumed to have moved, in which case new levels of support and resistance will likely be established. Now let's break them down individually. Support is the level at which demand is strong enough to stop the pair from falling any further. In the image shown, you can see that each time the price reaches the support level, it has difficulty penetrating that level. The rationale is that as the price drops and approaches support, buyers become more inclined to buy and sellers become less willing to sell. Now let's talk about resistance. A resistance is the level at which supply is strong enough to stop the pair from moving higher. In the image shown, you can see that each time the price reaches the resistance level, it has a hard time moving higher. The rationale is that as price rises and approaches resistance, sellers become more inclined to sell and buyers become less willing to buy. This is why I personally talk about SIR zones, support and resistance being one thing, because they are interchangeable. They are one and the same. Now let's hop on the charts and I'll show you how to identify support and resistance zones. So what we're looking for to identify these support and resistance levels is an area of significance. So an area where price has tapped multiple times, for example. So what I like to do is to use this rectangle tool. You see right here, if I draw this line across here, you can see price tapped in this area here. It's tapped here. It's tapped here as well, tapped again, and tapped again. You could do the same thing towards the downside. All you're looking for is an area of significance that's been tested multiple times. Same thing down here. We could draw this zone right here. If we actually expand it and make it a little bit bigger towards the upside, same thing you can see here. Retested this area multiple times, retested again, retested, and now it's retesting again. So we've kind of been ranging somewhat within this range overall. You can see we obviously have the peak of a breakout right here and then the bottom of a breakout right here. But overall, we've been kind of consolidating within this range. Identifying these support and resistance levels is actually quite simple. Now, you might see a lot of people, rather than using these boxes or rectangles tools that I use, they might draw a line like this. Just a simple little horizontal line on the chart. So the reason I don't like these horizontal lines is because then you're leaving out the potential for a fake out. You know, we've talked about this in previous videos. Sometimes it's not always a breakout. You want to wait for that confirmation. Sometimes it is just a fake out. And drawing these horizontal lines definitely increases the chances of you getting caught in a fake out. Like, for example, right here, if you would have just sold on this candle in anticipation, it broke out of this overall little horizontal line, but it was a long wick. If you did not wait for that wick to form for that candle to close, you probably would have gotten caught in a fake out. That's why I personally like to use these rectangle tools, because then you can draw it kind of like this and say, okay, we need to break out of this overall range before then going further in that direction. Then same thing that you could say to the upside. You take the little rectangle tool, come up to insert shapes, rectangle. Same thing here. Draw this little rectangle tool and say, okay, we're looking for a breakout of this overall range, because it is a range. It's not just one set in stone price point, because price fluctuates so much in the foreign exchange markets with 5.3 trillion on average traded daily, that if you're just looking at one little minute line, odds are you're going to get caught into fake outs more times than not.
Yeah, not possible to know exactly when it's going to be a fake out or an actual breakout, definitely, but having a bigger range kind of makes it safer than just the line. So definitely use your geometry that we learned in school. That's finally useful.
Exactly. So, exactly.
Using other indicators too could help, that we've talked about in many other videos. Can kind of help out as well too. One that I've been looking into recently that we haven't talked about is ADX. It's average directional indicator. It's pretty interesting. We'll do a video on it, but it kind of shows you just the direction that the market may be going into. It doesn't show, basically the indicator isn't showing which direction it's going into, but it gives you a range of, it tells you, okay, in this time frame, the average direction has been bearish or bullish, and it gives you a number on like how strong that chance of it staying in that range is. So that's something we can make a video on soon. But yeah, we've used the moving averages, RSI down there, different indicators that can kind of help this out. But fundamentals and news is big too. So
definitely. Then on top of that, I mean, you don't just have to use horizontal lines or these rectangle tools. Like obviously we have this zone that is formed right here, but you can also use diagonal lines as well. And what you can see from that is obviously we have this higher high point right here. Then we have a lower high. We have even lower highs. We have the lower low, and then we have a higher low. So whenever you see a lower high and a higher low, rather than a lower high and a lower low showing that the trend is going down, this is showing a bit of a market squeeze. So now we can draw a line from up here, diagonal down, same thing from here, diagonal up. And as that continues to squeeze, eventually we're going to see a breakout. So that'll give us double confirmation on top of our EMAs, you know, RSIs, Fibonacci's, other things that we're looking at, the fundamentals, the sentiment analysis as well. These two indicators, or not even indicators, these two support and resistance lines can definitely help you with identifying these breakout points. So let's just say price decides to come up to here, come back down, comes back up and retests again, and then comes back down. Eventually, it's going to break out. Now, it's not just going to break out of this overall zone. It's also going to break out and either form lower lows or break out towards the upside and then form higher highs again. So looking at the horizontal, the descension of a currency pair as well is definitely going to be good. And same thing, you're just looking for key areas. Price hits here, price hits here. So you draw your little horizontal line down there. Price is hitting here, price is hitting here. So you're drawing your little line across there. So looking at different ways to set up these support and resistance levels, it's honestly quite simple. Now, maybe it's just because we've been trading for so long, I'm like, oh, setting up these support and resistance. I can just look at a naked chart without these lines on there and set them up relatively easy. But hopefully this makes sense to you guys on how to set these up easy. Just looking for key areas. Tested here, tested here, tested again, tested. So we're just looking for important areas where price has retested multiple times, and then you just kind of draw a line, or in my example here, a rectangle across for the overall zone, and then you just wait for a breakout at that point. Now, obviously, like I said, pairing that with sentiment analysis, fundamental analysis, price action, different indicators and things as well is going to increase the chances of your success. But for the most part, we do trade pretty naked with the help of a few indicators on top of that. So keep this short and sweet, super simple to set up support and resistance lines. Definitely make sure you check out some of our other videos as well. We have multiple different playlists where we break down trades, do recaps, forecasts, things like that as well, where you can go back and kind of see how we had our zone set up to get more information on how to set these up. But it's overall pretty simple. Basically, all you're looking for is points of significance. Look for an area where price has retested that overall level multiple times in either direction. Wait for a breakout, pair that with other indicators as well. In technical analysis, look at the fundamentals and the sentiment analysis as well. Pair all of that together, and you can start trading a lot more successfully. Hopefully you guys found some value in this. Like I said, you know, hopefully I didn't explain it too simply, because to me it is very simple to set these things up. I think a lot of times people overcomplicate trading in the foreign exchange markets. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all of our videos. We're dropping content 7 days a week. Definitely check out those links in the description of this video. Sign up to our free Forex trading course. Normally we sell this for $197. We're giving you guys access today for free. So definitely take advantage of that. We dive into support and resistance zones a lot more in depth into that free course that we have out for you guys. So definitely check that out. Hop into our Discord community. You can copy our exact trades, live Q&As one-on-one, get access to our news bot. Definitely hop in the Discord. We're giving you a 7-day free trial. You can also copy our trades and just get access to our overall community of traders. Make sure you check out our recommended brokerages. We have Hugo's Way and Trader's Way. Hugo's Way is going to be more for the general public, and then Trader's Way is going to be more for the international-based clients. Make sure you also sign up to Robinhood and Webull to get a free stock on us just by signing up, no strings attached. And make sure you follow us on all major social media platforms at Copy My Profit. And as always, thanks for watching.
Peace.